Hey guys, today we're going to be changing the oil in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk edition. And if you're like me, you probably popped the hood on this thing and asked yourself 3 questions. So in this video, I'm going to answer those 3 questions, show you what tools you need, and show you how to do a super easy oil change. So stay tuned. So question 1 you're probably asking yourself is, how am I going to change the oil on this thing with a massive steel skid plate in the way? I don't want to have to take that off. Question number 2. Why is the oil filter access on top of the engine? That's just weird. And question number 3. Is that the oil filter? Because where I come from, oil filters look like this. So I don't really know what that is. So to answer those 3 questions, number 1, you do not need to take the skid plate out of the way. Number 2, the oil filter is, oddly enough, on top of the engine. And number 3, that weird looking doohickey in there is the oil filter. I know Chrysler started making them really weird, but this actually makes oil changes a lot easier. So now we'll go over what tools you need to complete your oil change. Alright, so to change the oil in your 3.2 liter V6 Jeep Cherokee, you need 6 quarts of oil. Jeep recommends either using Mopar oil or Pennzoil. And personally, I've always liked Pennzoil, so I'm using their Platinum Full Synthetic 5W20. You also need a 13mm socket, a 24mm socket, a ratchet with an extension, some paper towels or a clean rag, and also your goofy looking oil filter. Oh, and you need an oil pan. I don't know why I always forget to mention that in all of my how-tos. So, to change the oil on these things, a lot of people like to put them on jack stands, but with these Cherokees, they sit up high enough where you don't need to lift the vehicle at all. You can just go from the front of the vehicle and reach right in and loosen up your drain plug. So coming in from the front, you see here's our skid plate. You want to come around, and then your drain plug is right here. There's an access hole in the skid plate so you can loosen that up and drain your oil. So we'll do that with the 13mm socket. So now that you got your oil draining, the next step is to remove this oil filter access cover, and it just twists right off real easily like that. It's just a plastic piece. And then inside here is your oil filter. But before you remove that, you just want to take a clean rag or paper towel and just clean up inside of here really well to make sure that no dirt or contaminants fall into the engine once you remove this piece and pull the filter out. After you're finished wiping it down, take your 24mm socket with the extension and loosen this baby up. And you should feel about how tight it is when you're loosening it, and just tighten it back that much when you're putting the filter back in. You don't want to over tighten this. And this does have a lot of threads, but you want to pull it out, and some engine oil will drip out of there. Not a big deal, just something to be mindful of. And we'll just set this off to the side here, making sure to not get it too dirty or anything, since that is part of the inside of the engine. And then right here is your oil filter, and you just want to keep in mind of the orientation of the filter. It's got the open hole on the top there, and then the goofy locking thing goes down. So just keep that in mind when you put your new filter in. Alright, so you got your new filter, just inserted the same way that it came out. And when it goes in there, you should hear a nice click. Just like that. So when you get your new filter, it's going to come with a new O-ring. You want to make sure that you replace that with the old one that's on your oil filter cap. And to get this off, you can just use a screwdriver or any type of pick or a tool. I'm using this wrench from my chainsaw. Just take that. Take the old one off, put the new one back on. And you'll see that there is a difference in fit, and that's why you want to change the O-ring here to make sure that you get a proper seal with your new filter. And you can take a little bit of that oil that's in here and just kind of rub it on that O-ring. That way you get a nice wet seal. And these are plastic threads, so once again, just remember you don't want to over tighten it. With a normal oil filter, you only want to hand tighten them. With this, I'll just very lightly use the ratchet, but just remember you don't want to over tighten it. And if you're holding your ratchet like this, you're not going to get a whole lot of leverage. So once you can't turn it like this anymore, like that, should be plenty tight. And by now your oil is all done dripping, so you can go ahead and install your drain plug. And also with this, you never want to over tighten these, so just a little bit more than snug would be perfect. Once your drain plug is installed and snug, go ahead and add your 6 quarts of 5W20. Set that right up there. And I always use a funnel. You don't have to, but it's a lot cleaner and easier that way. So once you've added your 6 quarts of oil, just let it sit for a little bit and then check your oil level on the dipstick. If that's good, go ahead and start the engine, let it run for a couple of minutes, and then shut it back off. Then you want to check for leaks around your drain plug and also around your oil filter cap. If there are no leaks and your oil level is good to go after that, then your oil change is all done. Alright, so no leaks and the oil level is good. So that completes our oil change. If you guys liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Midwest Garage. I have a ton of new content coming out twice a week, so please subscribe so you don't miss anything. I'll see you guys in the next video.